Hello, Brewtubers, and welcome to this very interesting experiment. Okay, so this is a curious one. I didn't actually plan it, it just happened. I was walking at Aldi's, and then I was in the beer section, and I saw a product. It's not a beer, it's a malt beverage called malts. And what it is essentially is malt extract with hops. What came to my mind immediately? This is a kit! I only need to pour it in a fermentation vessel, degas it because it's already carbonated, and then add yeast. And this could become beer. And that's what I did. Check it out. Alright, so here we go. First off, you need a 5-liter container. I used this bottle as a fermentation vessel, and then a little bit more than 8.5 bottles of 500 milliliters of malts. So I just opened each of the bottles and poured it in the fermentation vessel. As you can see here, I did the same, and then I just weighted it to degas. Then I measured 7 grams of Fuggles, and I boiled what was left in the 9th bottle, so more or less 250 milliliters of wort. Let's call it wort. And after 25 minutes, I just strained off those hops, as you would normally do in a regular brew, but just in a smaller and easier to handle amount. I cooled it down, and then I added it to the rest of the wort. Let's call it wort. Easy as that. Boom. And then I had this slurry of M42 Mangrove Jacks, which came from my English special bitter, and I added it to the, let's call it wort again. I added half of the jar, and the jar is 500 milliliters, so I added more or less 250, which is more than enough. Since I had some left, I took a gravity reading, and as you can see here in the picture, it was 1052, so that's pretty average for a beer. And after fermentation, here's another pick, it was 1006. That is the lowest final gravity I have ever had. So I guess Mangrove Jacks M42, well actually the slurry of Mangrove Jacks M42 with the bitter, the special bitter I made, was working really well. So according to Brewers Friends ABV calculator, this beer is 6.04, let's call it 6% ABV. Not too bad at all. Do you want to know what's best? That it comes in PET bottles. So actually you get the kit, the malt, the hops, even if I added some more, and the bottles. You get all that for a very cheap price. I forgot to say, but it is really cheap. The 6-pack was something like €3.30, so it's like a little bit more than £2. I only needed 2 of that to get 6 liters, more or less 5 liters. Let's call it 5 liters of beer. So let's see how it turns out. I added some hops because when I tried it, I noticed it was really sweet, and I knew the sweetness would partially go away with the fermentation, but then it didn't have so much of a hop character. So that's why I added some Fuggles. I added some Fuggles because it is a dark beer, and I sort of, they linked well in my head. Bottle conditioning time, more than a month now. So here it is in its original bottle, and well, I bottled it in this bottle on purpose because I've never bottled any beer in a PET bottle, even if I had tried some beer mails that have kindly been sent to me, and the beer is just fine. So I just bottled it in this bottle to take full advantage and profit of what I paid for. So let's see finally what it is like and what it tastes like. Not too big of a hiss. Nice smoke. And let's see. She's looking nice. Nice and clear. Dark. Okay, I'll stop it here. Well, here you have it. Nice carbonation. Not too much foam. Not too much head. Take a look. I think you can see it's fairly clear. It's got a nice it's got a nice deep red, dark red, and brown color. So that's what it is. Very nice. Very nice indeed. On the nose. It doesn't have the malty flavor I was expecting. It smells like a regular beer, you know, not so high on the malt side. It actually smells like a commercial beer. Curious. This is really unusual. Never gotten this sort of smell in a beer, in a ale. Because this is an ale yeast. I don't know. Cheers, let's dive in. It's a nice beer. Not the best that there is, but considering how cheap it was and how easy it was for me to brew it, I think this can, you know, get you out of trouble if you need some quick beer. It only took a week to ferment, or even less than a week. I don't remember clearly. Let's call it 6 days, and just to be on the safe side, 6 days, and it was done. Then I just bottled it, and it is what it is now. So if you have no kits, let's say that you don't have a homebrew shop around, you don't have, well, you want to brew, you need some beer, and it would take a couple days for your online homebrew shop or store to deliver it to your place, and you're urged to brew, and you have some yeast, which is important, and I guess you can have this. You can do this. It's not the best beer I've brewed, honestly. But it's there. It's an acceptable beer. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that there's nothing special to it. You know, there's nothing that really stands out here. Well, apart from the clarity is really beautiful, and the color, this deep red color, is really, really, really beautiful. Apart from this, the smell is just okay. And the flavor is just okay again. Well, at least it's not a bad beer, you know? And there's nothing wrong with it. So I'll stop it here, wishing you a nice homebrew weekly, whatever the day is when this video will be released. If you like what you see, like, and don't forget to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Cheers, and beverage turned into beer. Cheers.